Okay guys, this will be a continuation of the original video we did on writing inverse functions, except in this video it's going to be multi-step. Alright, so if you have not seen that first video, make sure you watch that before you go into this video. Alright, so we know that when we're writing the inverse of a function, that we need to replace the x value with the y value and the y value with the x value. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do that here. So why don't we go ahead and write the inverse of this function. Alright, well we know that f of x is really just going to be y, so let's replace that with y. So we have y equals x over 4 minus 5. Now that we did that, like we said, we're going to replace the y with the x and the x with the y. So let's go ahead and do that. So we get x equals y over 4 minus 5. And now simply all you need to do is solve for the y. Alright, so in this case we're solving for y. So the first step we need to do here is add 5 on both sides. So we'll get x plus 5 equal to y over 4. And then you want to multiply both sides by 4. Okay. So when we do this, and this will cancel, we know here that our inverse function can be written as, so 4 times x is going to be 4x, okay, and 4 times 5 will be 20. Alright, so that would be the inverse. Now we want to check our work to make sure we did it correctly, that this is in fact the inverse. So all you're going to do here is pick a value for x. Alright, it doesn't matter. All you want to do is pick a value for x and then we can check. So, for example, I'll pick 20 here. So I'm going to plug a 20 into our original function. So f of 20, when we plug that in, we get 20, well we'll write it out, 20 divided by 4 minus 5. 20 divided by 4 is 5. 5 minus 5 is 0. Okay? Now to make sure that it's the inverse, going back to that previous video, we take our answer that we got, we plug it into the inverse, and if it equals what we originally put in, which in this case was 20, right? We know that it is in fact the inverse. So again, if we take this 0, our resultant, and we plug it into the inverse, so 4 times 0 will be 0, and then plus 20, so f inverse here will be 20, what we originally put in. Alright, so again, this checks out, this is good. Alright, let's try another problem here. Okay. Let's try this one. So we have f of x equals, let's do 5x minus 7. Again, we want to try to find the inverse here. So let's first replace this f of x with y so it's a little easier to visualize. And then we know when we're trying to find the inverse, we replace the y with x and the x with y. So let's go ahead and do that. And now we simply just need to solve for y. So let's go ahead. We need to add 7 on both sides. Okay. And then we're going to divide by 5. Alright, this cancels out. So what we have here is inverse function is going to be x plus 7 all over 5. Okay? And now at this point, you just want to confirm your work. You want to make sure that it is in fact the inverse. And the only way to do that is to pick a number. plug it into the original function, and then see if it undoes itself when you plug it into the inverse. So for this, I'm going to pick, let's pick 8 here. So we're going to plug 8 into this function. And again, you can pick any value you want. I'm just trying to pick numbers that will come out evenly here. So when I plug in 8, this will become 5 times 8 minus 7. Well, this is going to become 40, right? Minus 7, or this will be 33, right? Well, in this case, we then take our resultant and we plug it into our inverse. So, plug our resultant into our inverse, so we get 33 plus 7 all over 5, and it's going to put equals, this will be 40 all over 5, which equals 8. Well, look, it equals what we had put in originally, meaning it undoes itself, so yes, it is in fact the inverse. Okay? So again, that's just writing inverse function, and in particular multi-step.